Let me start with the theoretical calculation of Thevenin's theorem. This is the circuit given. We are given with a 10 volt DC source, 3 resistors, out of which 2 resistors are of 470 ohm, 1 resistor is of 560 ohm, and also we are given with a load resistor whose value is equal to 1 kilo ohm. Using Thevenin's theorem, I am going to simplify this circuit into the equivalent circuit, which is going to comprise of V Thevenin, R Thevenin along with the load resistor RL. V Thevenin is the open circuit voltage appearing across the load terminal, and R Thevenin is the equivalent resistance of the given circuit. The equivalent circuit is going to comprise 3 components: V Thevenin, R Thevenin and RL. RL is given in the circuit, so we are supposed to find V Thevenin and R Thevenin. Let me start with the R Thevenin. In order to find the Thevenin's resistance, few steps are to be followed. Suppose if the voltage source is given in the circuit, it should be short circuited, and if the current source is given, it should be open circuited, and the load resistor has to be removed in order to find the Thevenin's resistance. In the given circuit, we have a voltage source as well as the load resistor. As per the step, I am going to short circuit the voltage source and remove the load resistor. After short circuiting the voltage source and removing the load resistor, we have only 3 resistors present in the circuit. Now let's see how to calculate the equivalent resistance. In order to calculate the Thevenin's resistance, the circuit has to be simplified from the end which is opposite to that of the load terminals. In the given circuit, we have the load terminal across AB, so we have to start simplifying the network from the opposite end of AB. Starting from the left hand side, we have 2 resistors, each of resistances 470 ohm connected in parallel. When 2 resistors are connected in parallel, the equivalent resistance can be calculated using the formula R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Here R1 and R2 are equal to 470 ohm. Using the formula R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2, we simplify the 2 parallel resistor into the single resistor of resistance 235 ohm. Now this 235 ohm is in series with the 560 ohm resistor. When the 2 resistors are connected in series, the equivalent resistance is calculated using the formula R1 plus R2. That is, we are going to add the individual resistors together. On adding 235 ohm with 560 ohm, we obtain the equivalent resistance or the Thevenin's resistance, which is equal to 795 ohm. Of the 3 elements of the equivalent circuit, we have calculated Thevenin's resistance RTh, RL is given in the circuit, and we are supposed to find the value of the Thevenin's voltage VTh. VTh is the open circuit voltage appearing across the load terminals. In order to find V Thevenin, we are supposed to remove the load resistor from the given circuit. After removing the load resistor from the circuit, we have a 10 volt DC source along with the resistors. If we find the voltage across this 470 ohm, that voltage will be equivalent to the Thevenin's voltage, because the voltage that is going to appear across this 470 ohm resistor is the open circuit voltage across the load terminal. Since we have removed the load resistor from the loop 2, definitely there will not be any current flow in the open circuited path, and therefore there will not be any current flow through this 560 ohm resistor. So neglecting this resistor, we are going to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in the first loop. The first loop comprises of a single 10 volt DC source along with one 470 ohm resistor and another 470 ohm resistor. Let us assume the direction of current in the clockwise direction. Since the current is flowing from the negative towards the positive of the supply, the value of voltage is assumed to be plus 10 volt. Regarding the sign convention of resistor, the current that is entering in the direction of the resistor is assumed to be plus, and the current that is leaving the end of the resistor is assumed to be minus. Since the current is flowing from the positive, that is entry point of the resistor, and moving towards the exit point, that is negative of the resistor, the value of the voltage across this 470 ohm is found to be minus 470 into I1. So V is equal to I into R. The current that is flowing in this loop is assumed to be I1, and the value of resistor is given as 470 ohm. So the voltage drop appearing across this resistor is found to be minus I1 into R, and the value of R is equal to 470. Now moving on to the second resistor, the current entering direction is assumed to be positive of the resistor and leaving direction is assumed to be the negative sign of the resistor. Since the current is flowing towards the negative side, the value of voltage drop across this 470 ohm resistor is equal to minus 470 into I1. Applying KVL in loop 1, we get the equation as 10 minus 470 I1 minus 470 I1 is equal to 0. Solving this equation, we obtain the value of I1 as 10.638 milliamps. In order to find the Thevenin's voltage across this 470 ohm resistor, the formula for VThevenin is I1 into R. Since I1 is the current flowing through the first loop and we have found out the value of I1 as 10.638 milliamps. On multiplying the value of current I1 with the 470 ohm resistor, we get the value of Thevenin's voltage as 5 volt. Thus, we have obtained the value of Thevenin's voltage. Now, let's draw the equivalent circuit using the values of VTH, RTH as well as the load resistor RL. In the Thevenin's equivalent circuit, always the voltage source has to be connected in series with the resistors. We have found the Thevenin's voltage as 5 volt and Thevenin's resistance as 795 ohm and RL is given in the circuit as 1 kilo ohm. Using these three elements, we have formed the equivalent circuit. Since the value of load resistor is given in the circuit, we have drawn the load resistor in the equivalent circuit. Suppose if in the question they have not mentioned or not given the value of load resistor, the equivalent circuit can be formed with the VThevenin as well as RThevenin itself. Last step is to find the load current that is flowing through the load resistor. The formula to find the load current I is equal to V divided by R. The V that is present in the equivalent circuit is the Thevenin's voltage VTH and we have two resistors that are connected in series. So I am adding the value of the individual resistors. So we get the formula IL equal to VThevenin divided by RThevenin plus RL. We know the value of VTH, RTH and RL. After substituting and simplifying, we get the value of load current IL to be 2.79 milliamps. Thus, we have drawn the equivalent circuit and found out the necessary electrical quantities. Here ends the theoretical calculation of Thevenin's theorem. Let's move to the theoretical calculation of Norton's theorem. The Norton's theorem is quite similar to that of Thevenin's theorem. In Thevenin's equivalent circuit, we form the voltage source in series with the resistor, whereas in Norton's equivalent circuit, we form the current source in parallel with the resistor. In order to form the Norton's equivalent circuit, we are going to consider the same circuit as that of Thevenin's theorem. The circuit comprises of a 10 volt DC source, 3 resistors and a load resistor RL whose value is given as 1 kilo ohm. The equivalent circuit of Norton's theorem comprises of 3 elements: the Norton's resistance Rn, the Norton's current In and the load resistor RL. If the load resistor is not given in the circuit, then the Norton's equivalent circuit can be formed with the value of current In as well as the value of the Norton's resistance Rn. First, let us calculate the Norton's resistance Rn. The procedure to calculate Rn is quite similar to that of RThevenin. Suppose in the circuit, if the voltage source is given, it has to be short circuited. If the current source is given, it has to be open circuited and the load resistor has to be removed. In the given circuit, we are provided with the voltage source which has to be short circuited and we are given with the load resistor which has to be removed. After short circuiting the voltage source and removing the load resistor, we are going to have only the resistors present in the circuit. The two resistors 470 ohm and 470 ohm are connected in parallel and this parallel combination is connected in series. After simplifying the given resistance network, we are able to obtain the value of the Norton's resistance, which is quite similar to that of the Thevenin's resistance, and its value is found to be 795 ohm. The next parameter that has to be found in order to form the Norton's equivalent circuit is the Norton's current IN. IN is the short circuit current that is flowing through the load terminals. In order to find the Norton's current, we are going to just remove the load resistor and we are going to short circuit the load terminals across AB. and the current that is going to flow through the short circuited path AB is found to be the Norton's current IN. As we know, current will flow through the closed circuit. We have two closed paths and I am naming it as loop 1 and loop 2. Let us assume the current flowing through the loop 1 in the clockwise direction to be I1 and the current that is flowing in the loop 2 in the clockwise direction as I2. You can either apply KVL or Cramer's rule in order to simplify the circuit and find the value of current that is flowing through the loops. If we apply KVL in loop 1, the current is flowing from the negative towards the positive. So, towards direction has to be considered. So, the value of voltage is going to be plus 10 volt. And regarding the sign convention of resistor, the current entering direction is positive and leaving direction is negative. Always the leaving direction sign has to be considered for the resistor. So, the voltage drop across this 470 ohm resistor is found to be minus 470 into I1. And same way for this particular resistor we are going to have two currents. One current is flowing in the clockwise direction and the other current is going to flow in the opposite direction to that of I1. The current that is flowing through this 470 ohm resistor is I1 minus I2. Since I am writing the equation with respect to the loop current I1, the current that is flowing through this particular resistor is going to be I1 minus I2. The voltage drop across this 470 ohm resistor is 470 into I1 minus I2. So same way we are going to write the equation for the loop 2. Minus 560 into I2 minus 470 into I2 minus I1. Since I am writing the equation with respect to the loop current I2, here the current equation should be I2 minus I1. On solving these two equations, we will be able to obtain the values of I1 and I2. We can use the equation method or otherwise we can go for the matrix method in order to solve this particular circuit and to obtain the values of I1 and I2. Here we have rewritten the circuit in the form of matrix equation V is equal to IR. This particular matrix comprises of four resistors R11, R12, R21 and R22. R11 is the addition of resistors that is present in the loop 1 alone. In loop 1 we have two resistors 470 and 470. Adding these two resistors we obtain the value as 970. R12 comprises of the resistor that is present in loop 1 as well as in loop 2. So we have only one resistor that is common for loop 1 and loop 2. So it is represented as minus 470 and same way R21 is equal to R12 which is equal to minus 470 and R22 is going to comprise of the resistors that is present in loop 2 alone. In loop 2 we have 560 ohm resistor and 470 ohm resistor. On adding these two resistors we obtain the total resistance as 1030 ohm. We have two unknown currents I1 and I2 and the value of voltage in loop 1 is 10 volt and in loop 2 we don't have any voltage source, so we are assuming the value to be 0. On solving this particular equation we will be able to obtain the value of I1 as well as I2. Our ultimate aim is to find the Norton's current IN. The value of IN is equal to the current that is flowing in the second loop. The current I2 is equal to IN which is equal to 6.28 milliamps. The value of Norton's current is found to be 6.28 milliamps. Now we have found out the equivalent circuit parameters IN, RN as well as RL. Now we are going to draw the equivalent circuit with the current source in parallel with the Norton's resistance and load resistor. The last step is to find the load current that is flowing through the load resistor. We can apply the current division rule. As per the current division rule, the current that is flowing through any branch is equal to the total current into opposite resistance divided by sum of the resistance. In order to find the current that is flowing through the resistor RL, we are using the formula the total current which is IN into opposite resistance RN divided by sum of the resistances RN plus RL. On substituting all the values and simplifying, we are able to obtain the value of load current to be 2.78 milliamps. Thus, we have formed the Norton's equivalent circuit and we have found out the required electrical quantities. Here ends the calculation for Norton's theorem. For the virtual implementation, type Tinkercad in the search bar. Click the first link that opens. You can sign in using your email ID or the username. I am going to sign in with the email ID. Enter the email ID and password. The Tinkercad page opens and now we have logged in using the Gmail account. Select Circuits, create new circuit. Change the components from basic to all. We can also change the title of the experiment in the title bar. Verification of Thevenin's and Norton's theorem. In order to implement the circuit, we are in need of breadboard. The components can directly be chosen by scrolling down, or the name of the component can be typed in the search bar. Select and drag the components. In order to implement the circuit, we are in need of few resistors. The resistors can be rotated in the desired direction. The connections are given as per the circuit diagram. The value of resistor and unit can be changed by clicking on it. In Tinkercad, we have multimeter in order to measure the voltage, current and resistance. The mode of measurement can be changed by clicking on it. In the first circuit, we have changed the mode of measurement to resistance. The connection for the second circuit for the implementation of Thevenin's voltage is given as per the circuit diagram. The mode of measurement is changed to voltage. We have a red knob and a black knob in both the multimeter and the power supply unit. The black knob indicates the negative terminal and the red knob indicates the positive terminal. Click on the power supply unit to enter the value of voltage and current as per the theoretical calculation. Now we have found out the value of Thevenin's voltage. Now we are going to implement the third circuit to calculate the value of the load current IL. The mode of measurement is changed to amperage to measure the value of load current. Connections are given as per the circuit diagram. The value of voltage and current is changed in the power supply unit as per the theoretical calculation. Now we have implemented the Thevenin's theorem virtually. We can also name the various blocks in the given circuit. Next is we are going to implement the Norton's theorem. Click create new circuit. The same procedure is repeated. The components is changed from basic to all. And we can also change the name of the experiment in the title bar as verification of Norton's theorem. Breadboard is chosen by typing the name in the search bar. The first circuit is implemented in order to find the equivalent resistance of Norton's theorem. The resistors are rotated in the desired direction. The value and units are changed by clicking on the resistor. The mode of measurement is changed to resistance in the multimeter. The second circuit is implemented as per the theoretical calculation. The voltage and current is given in the power supply unit, and we have found out the short circuit current as 6.29 milliamps. Thus, we have implemented the Thevenin's and Norton's theorem virtually using Tinkercad.